This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today we're going to talk about snoozing and hitting the snooze button. And it's a little bit different, I suppose, to the analogy of, in the morning, get up and, if you snooze, you lose, meaning that if you hit snooze, then, you lose out on getting ahead on the day, that kind of stuff. You probably don't know. How about that? Do you know what those are called? They're called comfort words. Words that we sometimes just use when we may not have other words. All right could be one of them. Is one of them. And could be other ones as well. And they're just sound fillers. It's very interesting. Anyway, often I see this analogy of snooze, meaning like when your alarm goes off, like don't press snooze, get up and attack the day and off you go. And I'm all for that. Yeah, I mean there's times where I do hit snooze, or maybe I don't hit snooze, maybe I just turn it off and come back and cuddle my partner for a while, or get the pooch or do whatever. But I don't want to just talk about snoozing first thing in the morning. Although maybe that's a metaphor for the rest of the conversation, and maybe that's how people use the whole snooze and lose kind of conversation. But I'm going to use it more about waking up in life, waking up to the frames that are holding us back as individuals, the programs that we run that are limiting the things that we can do with our life, old beliefs which is another word for frames, that no longer serve us. However, they're running so deep in our unconscious that we're not able to get there. And it's like, if I can point at that, hey, like, where is it? You can't. It's not an objective matter. It's a subjective matter. And discovery and exploration on a subjective level is the only way we can really get to that. So I want to use this idea of like, how often do you snooze in life? How often do you have this moment of clarity and awareness of something, right? And then you're like, and you're about to wake up to it. You're about to explore the day. You're about to explore, how about this, the light of the thing that you're waking up to, and you slap snooze, only to not come back to it for years, maybe months, maybe longer. How often in life do you have these fleeting moments of clarity where you see something like realizing that, yeah, human beings are designed to contribute, but we're not actually designed to pay bills. Now, I'm not presupposing in that sentence that you shouldn't pay bills. I'm saying see that you're playing the game rather than simply being in the game and knowing that you as a mammal was not designed to go through school and college and all that sort of stuff, but you've decided to play along with that, and that's okay. I didn't go to uni, however, college for you guys in the States, but the whole point there is to go, am I waking up to this realization, and you're starting to see these things unfolding, and it's a little bit maybe scary, maybe frightening, maybe a whole range of different emotions and feelings. And then you're like, that's too deep, and you press snooze. Because that's what's happening, hey. And then what's going on is that between now and the next stage in your life where you do think about that again and you do unpack it, it's like you had the opportunity to bring the awareness that you would have gained out of exploring that to all of the moments you had between those two times. And you decided to snooze. So that's how you lose, because you lose the ability to be able to bring wisdom forward from future years to the current moment by literally exploring these things as they arise. And this is the same thing, rather than just fucking, running the game and running the frames and running the beliefs and actually having them all run you. You have the opportunity every single day to become brand new in every single moment by waking up to every single moment. If we're not present, we're not awake. We can't be seeing the things right now, right? We're dreaming. Do you get that? If we're not present, we're dreaming of the future, dreaming of the past. We're not awake. And so when we snooze in life, we do lose, because we end up playing a smaller game. Maybe a game done by someone else's rules. And so I guess the question comes down to like, how do you snooze? How do you not hit snooze rather? And it's a great question. It's like, well, when you see something arise and it maybe it's a little bit frightening or scary or whatever, lean into it, right? Know that it's not about you. Know that you're seeing it. Because when someone, for example, someone calls you a dickhead, hypothetically, right, or anything along those lines, they're not calling you a dickhead. They're calling their experience of you a dickhead. They don't know you. They can't know you. Most people don't barely even know themselves. They know the frames and the programs and the persona that they put on, but they don't know themselves, because the self is inherently valuable. It's all of the frames and the programs in the way that they're calling their experience of that a dickhead. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing when we love something, when we think something's good, and we think something's bad or whatever, we hate something. It's always the experience. It's the judgment of the experience. You can't hate someone, only your experience of them. And it's the same thing. It's like choice-based relationships, choice-based loving. It's like, I'm complete. I love myself, and I choose to love you. And that's a deep conversation. And often what happens when, I'm putting inverted commas when I say deep here as well, but when a deep conversation comes past, some people are like, oh, that's deep. And it's like, fuck, dude, I'm done snoozing. Hey, it's like, I'm just done snoozing. I'm more interested in these conversations. And if you're not, that's cool, but I'll go find someone else to discuss these things with. I've got no judgment on that. I just don't feel like talking about my kitchen rules or Married at First Sight or whatever. And hey, people are like, oh, I'm not judging people for doing that shit. I went to the bowling club the other night and like they had PlayStations there and I played FIFA. Some people don't want to hear about FIFA. Some people don't want to hear about cricket. They're my interests, but I'm happy to put those things aside and pursue something more meaningful, more interesting. And in doing so, we continually allow ourselves an opportunity to continue to unfold. So this is a fucking reason why I do the podcast. This is the reason why I have the Mood Prep online group. This is the exact reason why I have the coaches circle, which is changing once again to an extension of the Mood Prep group. It's the reason why I'm doing the Mood Prep Intensive. It's so people can get together that are interested in actually learning more and developing more and asking questions. Otherwise, what happens is that you listen to this on the bus to work, on your way to the gym, right? Maybe in your break or something throughout the day, and you got to talk. You find this shit interesting. It just fucking piques your interest. You Google shit after I say it, or you hear it somewhere else. And it's not just me. I'm just a messenger, right? Like I didn't have these thoughts initially. I'm just sharing it. But you go on Google and you learn more about it. You find out other things. You read some of the books. You ask questions. You finally reach out. You ask me a question. I recommend a book, or whatever the case might be. We have a conversation on the phone. Whatever it is, reach out to the next person. And the thing is then you may go to work and then no one wants to fucking hear about it. And so you're isolated. So you have an opportunity. You go back to your egoic structure. You go back to your egoic states and you just talk about the stuff that doesn't really fucking interest you. So you, inverted commas, fit in. It's like there's no fitting in. The reason why those people are talking about it is because they don't fit in. Fit into what? Things you don't like? How is that fitting in? And maybe it's not all the movies or shows that and I've got nothing against them. It is what it is. It's an analogy, right? And so the reason why is because I enjoy this, because I have people that I speak to about things that I find fascinating, and I'll continue to pursue that and continue to search that out. And so that's why for you guys, if and girls out there, if you're interested, get along to the Mood Prep Intensive. It's a 2-day seminar. Everyone that's there has listened to this podcast. They have an interest in this shit. They want to keep pulling apart. They want to keep pursuing their own potential. Like, that's what it means to be around like-minded people. And if you can't get there, get fucking somewhere where you can. Don't play small just to fit in, because you're not fitting in, you're regressing. This is my fucking call to you guys, to step up. And step into the things that are uncomfortable, because that's exactly where all of your fucking potential lays. And if you hit snooze, you're going to waste 10 fucking years, give or take. And what's the cost of that, hey? What's the cost of it? It could be anything. It could be family. It could be money. It could be like love, like actual love, not just loving someone, actual love. It could be, that maybe you wanted a dog. This was similar to me. I realized it last year. Maybe you want a dog. And for some reason, you got some bullshit frames of the past that are stopping you from doing that. Like, how long are you going to keep being bullied by that shit? Make 2019 the start of the next thing. Get curious. Team, I'm out. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you found this podcast beneficial, it would mean the world to me if you'd pass it on to someone else that you think would also find it beneficial. If you haven't already, jump on Facebook, Mood Prep Online. You'll also see my post there today, or yesterday, today, whatever, about the Mood Prep Intensive. I'd love to see you there. 2 days here in Canberra. If you want more information, then find me there and ask some questions. Otherwise, email me. Otherwise, Instagram me. You can get in touch with me. There's heaps of ways to do it. Otherwise, until tomorrow, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.